Welcome to another Food for Thought here on Heck'em World, where we share practical ideas from industry leaders that can help you build a stronger business. I'm Andrew Montesi. This week, Jason Back tackles a topic that affects every mortgage professional: productivity. But his argument might surprise you. He believes most professionals don't actually have a productivity problem. They have an efficiency and behavioural problem. In other words, working longer hours isn't the answer if the way you work is creating unnecessary friction. In this short presentation, Jason shares a practical framework for identifying where your time is really going, why so many professionals stay busy without becoming more effective, and how better systems, habits, and AI can help you spend more time on the activities that actually grow your business. Jason is based in Australia, so you'll hear him refer to brokers throughout the presentation. That's the most common Australian term for mortgage professionals, so the insights do translate to here in the US market. Here's Jason Back with the latest Food for Thought just after this short sponsor message.
At Atlas Valuation, we approach the appraisal process differently. For us, it's not about being the biggest. Instead, we take pride in providing the very best to our chosen clients and emphasize delivering a superior borrower experience, unrivaled service, competitive pricing, and prompt delivery. To learn more, visit atlasvms.com or call or click on the banner below this video.
Hi everyone, it's Jason Back here from Broker Essentials. Today I wanted to share with you my thoughts around productivity. Now, I've been speaking about this for many years at conferences and obviously to the brokers that I coach, but here's something that's going to probably sound a little bit strange coming from someone like myself. I don't believe that most brokers have a productivity problem. I believe they have an efficiency problem and a behavioural problem, because more productive hours in your day won't help you if the way that you work is broken. As the old saying says, you don't fix a traffic jam by adding more cars to it. And you don't fix an overwhelmed broker by cramming in more deals, more leads, or more hours. That just magnifies the dysfunction that you've already got. So in the next few minutes, I wanted to unpack the difference between being busy and being effective, and give you a simple way to get you out of your week without burning yourself out. So let's get those definitions straight, because people throw those two words around like they mean the same thing, and they don't. Productivity is more about how much you produce, total output over total input, and efficiency is about how well you produce it. Maximum quality output using the fewest resources. But you can be productive but inefficient. You can also be efficient but not very productive. The magic is when you stack both. Here's what it looks like in a brokerage. Right, two brokers both settle 12 deals in a month. Broker A works 160 hours to do it. Broker B does the same 12 in 120. Same output, but completely different productivity. The difference isn't hustle. Broker A is actually working more hours. The difference is efficiency. My favorite way to explain this is two swimmers. On the left, we've got Eric the Eel, and on the right, we've got the one that you all know is probably Michael Phelps. Eric the Eel, you may remember from the Sydney Olympics, was the swimmer who nearly didn't make it to the end of the pool. Both of them are trying to move forward, but one is fighting the water and the other one is moving through it. Phelps swam his 100 meters in around about 47 seconds. Eric took nearly a minute and a half. And here's the thing. Eric was working harder. He was giving everything he had. But Phelps was working better. Most brokers are swimming like Eric, not because they're not talented, not because they don't care, but because their systems, their habits, and their structures create drag. Productivity isn't about swimming harder. It's about reducing the drag. I felt the opposite of drag recently. I was flight boarding down in Tasmania. That's the board that lifts up out of the water on a foil. And the moment you lift out, everything changes. You go from choppy, dragged field effort to this silent, gliding motion. The water hasn't changed. The rider hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is how the board moves through the resistance. That's your business. Where your systems are inefficient, you're constantly battling chop. But the moment you fix the way you work, you create lift. You glide. You get into the flow. Less drag, more speed, less friction, more capacity to focus on what actually matters. So why does this matter so much right now? Well, there's two reasons. One is the tools have never been more powerful. AI and automation, the platforms that you've already got, most brokers are barely scratching the surface. And two, there's a trap that catches good brokers out when things are going well. It's called the comfort trap. When you've got a strong run and a healthy pipeline, your brain quietly assumes less effort is needed to keep going. But today's results come from work you did months ago. And the moment you stop doing the fundamentals is the moment tomorrow's pipeline starts drying up. The best brokers actually act like they're slightly behind, never satisfied and always hungry. Now, let me give you a framework to actually locate where your time is going. I call it the productivity pyramid, and it's got 4 levels. At the base is activity. This is your busy work, data entry, chasing docs, status updates. It feels productive, but it barely moves the needle. This is where most brokers live, flat out, but not getting ahead. Level 2 is around efficiency. This is doing things right. Same tactical work, but faster. Using your CRM properly, templated emails, delegating to your VAs or your EAs, letting AI handle the fact find. Level 3, well, that's about effectiveness. This is doing things right? And then moving to doing the right things. Strategic planning, high-value client meetings, nurturing your referral partners. This is the sweet spot. These are your most profitable hours. And at the top, well, that's impact. This is where you stop working in the business and, of course, you start working on the business. Your vision, your culture, your leadership. Building something that runs without you. Here's the goal. Systemize, delegate, or automate the bottom 2 layers so you can ruthlessly protect your time at the top 2. But here's the uncomfortable bit. Most of you already know about this. So why is it not happening? Well, there's probably 2 questions. First is it a skill problem or is it a will problem? Do you not know how to use a checklist or you just don't do it? For most brokers, it's not about capability, it's about consistency. And that brings us to the research. Pfeiffer and Sutton, back in the US, I think it was in the late 90s, at 99, called the knowing-doing gap. Their line was simple. The problem isn't knowing what to do. The problem is doing what you know. So you go from PD day to PD day, you take notes, you get inspired, then you walk straight back into the old same habits. If knowledge alone wasn't enough, every broker would be running perfect businesses. It's not about information. That's not the problem. It's an execution problem. So let me leave you with these 5 levers that can close the gap a little bit. You don't need all 5 today, just pick one. So the first one would be run a time audit. For every week, track your hours, where they actually go. Then push everything you can do down the pyramid, delegate it or automate it. 2, design your day. Your calendar should reflect your priorities, not your inbox. Block your high energy morning strategy meetings, your client work, batch your admin, and protect that golden hour a day to work on the business. 3, systemize for scale. Document your workflows, your lead intake, loan packaging, client updates, your post-settlement care, your referral reporting. A repeatable process isn't boring, it's bankable. And the last one, the 4th, is about leveraging AI and automation. AI doesn't replace brokers, it replaces inefficiency. Start small, drafting emails, your follow-ups, your loan scenarios. And 5, grow into your business. As you scale, your job changes from being the best broker to being the best leader of brokers. So here's my first challenge for you, and it's deliberately small. Don't try and fix everything at once. Pick one inefficient habit in your business, just one, and commit to fixing it the next 7 days. Because productivity isn't so much about effort, efficiency isn't so much about tools, execution is about behavior. It's about moving from what you know from your head to your hands. The next level of productivity doesn't require more hours, it requires better habits. So go pick your one thing, and I'll see you next time.